friends, welcome to today's video. Today we're gonna be getting ready with some new makeup. I've just got an assortment of some things. Some of it you've actually seen me use, not all of it is new, but I do have a bunch of goodies from Jane Iredale. I just got back from the Berkshires. I was there last week with them and I loaded up. A lot of the stuff I had used before, but some new shades, so I'm excited to play with that. And then just an assortment of other products to share. So let's go ahead and get started. I do already have my foundation, concealer, and my bronzer on. I know I thought I was filming this earlier and I had technical difficulties, so that didn't get captured. But to recap you, I have on the Dior Forever foundation, and the reason I chose this one today is because it's 10:30 a.m. and I have a 6 p.m. dinner and I will not have time to do my makeup again, so I wanted something that I knew would look good and last all day, and this is a go-to for me. The concealer that I have on is quickly becoming a favorite of mine. It's the Makeup Forever HD Skin Concealer, and I just picked this up a couple weeks ago. I've been playing with it. Every time I use it, I love it even more. It's very lightweight, it's very hydrating. The coverage is about medium. It's not gonna be your most full coverage concealer by any means, but you can build it to get a little more coverage if you'd like. It's described as being a blurring and smoothing concealer, and the jury's still out on that for me. I notice a slight improvement, like it's not, you know, maybe a little slight blurring of texture under the eyes, but I wouldn't necessarily like notice that benefit on my own if it hadn't been marketed that way. But I will say this, a lot of concealers will magnify texture because they can be very heavy or too matte, and they can magnify texture as they sit on the skin underneath the eyes. It makes the smallest fine line or the smallest texture look way more noticeable than it is when you have nothing on. So this is a really great lightweight concealer. I really love this. I'm the shade 2.0. They always have strange names to me. I'm like, am I reading the batch code or am I reading the name? Okay, so I have that on. And then for bronzer, I have a little bit of the Jane Iredale powder bronzer. I'm gonna go and add a tiny bit more. I was in the middle of doing this when I realized that I wasn't recording earlier. I really love this bronzer. I'm the lightest shade. I feel like they run a little bit deep. Like this to me would look more like a medium shade, but I think it's the lightest one. You know what, I'm gonna pop it open just so I can be certain. If it's your first purchase, make sure you always purchase the compact for the first time. I had a friend who ordered a bunch of stuff I recommended, but she forgot to order the compact, so don't be that friend. Okay, this is the Pure Bronze Matte Bronzer in the shade Light. Yes, and it's a little deeper than you would think, so it's the perfect shade. I got medium, because usually I go with medium in bronzers, and that one was way too dark for me. Oh, I just love it, it's so nice and sun-kissed. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on a little bit of blush, and I might go back and add a little more later, but I wanted to reshare this Milani blush in Tea Rose. This is like one of my favorite matte peachy blushes at the moment. That's powder. I really love it. It's so pretty, and I feel like this product is kind of blurring as well. I'm just gonna put a little bit right here on the cheek and kind of sweep it back, just to warm up the cheeks a bit. I love this color. I need to take it home because there's been a few times where I've been at home and I want to wear it and then I remember that it's here. Perfect. Okay, lovely. Next, I'm going to go ahead and set a little bit of powder. I'm gonna mix it up, you guys. I'm gonna try to incorporate some drugstore here and there. So this is the Essence My Skin Perfector Loose Fixing Powder, and I'm gonna take a small amount of this and really just apply it in the center of my face, T-zone. And I'm using the BK Beauty 113 brush. This brush is great for powdering this area here. I don't really need much powder with that foundation, but I do want a little bit, and I'm gonna do under the eyes. So I had an amazing trip in the Berkshires with Jane Iredale last week. If you follow me on Instagram, I shared more of my, more content there of my trip, but I wanted to come here and share it, and I wanted to really thank you guys. The last night that I was there, I don't get invited to, like a lot of brand trips at all, which is fine with me. I've got 2 kids. I don't have, I would love to be whisked away on some tropical vacation. I just can't do that anyway. But my point is I don't go on many brand trips. And the second night I was there, I was there 3 nights, but anyway, I was laying in the bed and I was just thinking how grateful I am for this experience. It was just a beautiful, beautiful experience. The people, the team, getting to learn the history about the brand, getting to meet Jane herself. I mean, there is an incredible story there, and like it just meant a lot. That last night I was laying there, I'm like, what an incredible experience, and how like fortunate am I that I get to do things like this, because of my work, because of this YouTube channel. And I really have you guys to thank for that, because I wouldn't be able to do things like that or have these types of opportunities if it weren't for you guys. So thank you so, so much. I'm really, really mean that. It's an incredible thing that we get to do. You know, I say we, like YouTubers, creators, influencers, if that's what you want to call us. Like, it's a really incredible opportunity. And anyway, I could go on and on, but I just want to thank you guys for supporting me and making opportunities like that present themselves for me. So thank you. Okay, so I need to catch you up what I put on my lid. This is actually a concealer. I couldn't find my eye primer. This is a new concealer that Jane Iredale is launching in October, I think is what they said. Don't quote me on that. It's launching sometime this year. And this is the shade 8N. What they shared with us about this concealer is that it's a great concealer for the face, like to kind of conceal any blemishes around the face or kind of to use on the face. I used this underneath my eye while I was there and I really liked it too. But I really love their Enlighten Plus underneath the eye. That's the one I've been sharing that's in the squeeze tube. I really love that concealer underneath the eye because I might be making this up, but for me, I feel like it adds a little bit of a volume underneath my eye. Like it almost has this moussey texture that just kind of plumps underneath my eye. This today we're using as a primer. This is very long wearing, so it's gonna help keep my shadow on all day. Okay, so just pressing that in. I'm using the Angie Hot and Flashy A506 concealer brush. And there we go, just kind of creating a nice, pretty, even canvas. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I am gonna play with some palettes from Jane Iredale. I have the Naturally Matte palette. I'm pretty sure I've used this in a video. It's a really beautiful, warm, matte palette. And then this one is new. This is called Solar Flare. And this one I used while I was there and I got so many compliments on my makeup. So we're gonna go in with this. Okay, so first what I'm gonna do is we're gonna build a little bit of a crease like we always do. So for that, I'm gonna go into this shade right here and I'm just going to kind of tap my brush off so I don't have too much product there. And we're just gonna kind of softly sweep this in the crease. So I've been MIA, as you guys have probably noticed on YouTube for a few weeks. It has just been a pretty crazy last month, really. It's been a month stretch of just craziness. You know, wrapping up summer, Brooklyn was in summer camp, and while she was away at summer camp, Kate and I went to Oahu. We went to Hawaii, and we kind of had a little mommy-daughter trip out there to visit one of her really good friends. They have a place right on the beach. It was so nice. Kate wasn't ready for summer camp this year. Brooklyn went last year. Last year was her first year, and I was hoping Kate was going to be ready to go too, but she just wasn't ready to leave home for 2 weeks. So instead, Kate and mommy went on a little summer camp of our own. And yes, speaking of Hawaii, I just want to say, like, my heart goes out to everyone that is affected by the fires. It is completely, absolutely devastating. It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. We weren't in Maui when we went. We got back July 31st, I think is when we got back. So we were just there, but we were in Oahu. But it's just unbelievable. And I'm just sending my thoughts and my prayers and my love to everyone affected by that. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of some crease definition. This is a really warm shade, so I'm being really light-handed with it. It's also a little deeper than I normally go in with the crease, so I want to make sure that I have a really light hand. I don't want it to be too dark. One of the really neat things about touring Jane's home office is just seeing the whole way that the business is set up. So her home is here. Right next door is their headquarters. The headquarters used to be an elementary school, and one of the employees I was talking to said that she actually went there when it was an elementary school, and I think she said her grandma when she was in elementary school. And then the warehouse where they keep all their product and they do fulfillment for their wholesale accounts. It used to be the same employee's grandfather's plumbing company. It was a plumbing company at some point. It shut down, he closed it or whatever, and then now it's become their warehouse. There's just so much history, and it's just a really cute, sweet, small town community where, I don't know, I was just really touched by that trip and learning more about the history, the brand, and then just meeting everyone that worked for Jane Iredale. A lot of the employees that worked there, they grew up in this community, and it was just really, really special. Obviously BK Beauty is several steps behind Jane Iredale in terms of, our business and kind of our lifespan, but as someone that is a new entrepreneur, looking up to Jane and hearing her story and seeing what she's built over the last 3 decades was very inspiring. And also to see it done with such heart, you know what I mean? It was amazing. One more thing I want to say. When we walked into the fulfillment center, someone had been on the phone. Actually, I think it was Joni. Joni, you emailed me yesterday. Let me see. Yes, Joni. If you're watching this, leave a comment down below. Joni emailed me yesterday and said, I think it was me that she was on the phone with. We walked in and their customer service rep was talking to one of my viewers, helping them pick out product. And you could just tell the customer service reps that were there, like they just took so much pride in being able to help people and the personal connection that they make. I mean, one of the ladies there, she's like, I have a customer that I'm on the phone with for the last 10 years. Like we talk for the last 10 years, I've helped her pick out products and helped her with their issues. And she just said it with such, you know, pride and appreciation and gratitude. And I thought that was really, really cool and really special. So they are a great brand, not only to support because they have amazing products, but also because they're a great brand with the heart and purpose and passion, and it's inspiring. All right, you guys, so next I'm going in with a Solar Flare eyeshadow palette, and I'm taking this shade right here. It's kind of like a taupey, smoky shade. When it goes onto the skin, it's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like this plummy taupe. So beautiful. And it's got some shimmer to it, but the shimmer is really soft and refined. And I'm actually gonna just kind of pack it on the lid, but then I'm just gonna work my brush back and forth to slightly soften that. I don't want it to be like packed. I want it to be a really pretty kind of like medium amount of payoff and just a nice pretty wash of color. Okay, so what I've done is I've used a really cool tone shade and then popped a really warm shade in the crease. So we're gonna go and kind of balance that out. These are really beautiful. So I am gonna go in and highlight underneath the brow. I'm gonna use this tiny little brush. This is the BK Beauty 209. I don't know if you can see how small that little head is, but I just want to keep that highlight right underneath the brow. I don't want to muddy this crease color down, so I want to make sure I use the right brush. And I'm going to go into the lightest shade in this palette, just a really pretty kind of ivory vanilla shade. And it has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's going to reflect light, but it's not frosty. And I'm just going to pop this right underneath the brow. And because I'm using this really small, dense brush, it's going to pick up a lot. So I'm trying to make sure that my pressure is very light pressure. Oh, nice. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is I'm actually gonna take this shade right here. It's the deepest shade. I would describe that as being like a real warm, like reddish bronze, kind of deep. And I'm gonna take a smaller crease brush. I'm using the 211, and I'm gonna apply this on the outer corner of my eye and kind of work it into the crease a little bit. Ooh, this color's pretty. It's just adding some depth to that outer corner. And it's also kind of really taking these two shades, that real warm shade that I first used and this cool shade on the lid, and it's just kind of marrying them together. So I just want to go back and forth a little bit. I don't want to completely cover that warm kind of coral shade, not coral, but like orangey brown. I don't want to cover that up entirely. Do you see the difference between the two eyes? Do you see what this does? It just kind of pulls it together. It gives it some more definition. Next, I'm gonna line my eyes. I'm using this quick stick from Tarte. This is an eyeliner on one side, and then it's a cream shadow stick on the other. I don't think I'm gonna use the cream shadow stick, but I just wanna use the eyeliner part. This is like a real, like kind of dark, rich brown. And I'm gonna really kind of keep this as thin as I can, and I'm gonna just take it over till about halfway on my lash line. I'm gonna try not to run this all the way to the inner corner. I just want a little definition, but I don't want a harsh eyeliner look. Okay, perfect. There we go. I am gonna take a brush and kind of smoke it out a little bit, so I wasn't too worried about getting it perfect. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the matte palette, and we're gonna take this dark matte brown right here and just kind of smoke out that lash line a little bit. Okay, perfect. I love that. I think I'm gonna keep the lower lash line pretty clean. I might do a little bit of a shadow, but I don't wanna put much of a deep liner there at all. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my mascara. First, I'm using my lash primer. This is the Dior Lash Maximizer. Okay, I'm gonna go in and add some Grande Lash mascara. This mascara is conditioning mascara. It has peptides in it, so it really helps support lash growth. My lashes need all the help they can get right now. They are very short and thin. I must have just come off of a shed cycle where you shed your lashes. I love this combo on the eyes. This color, these two colors together, just this whole look. I love it. So I keep looking at myself in the monitor. It looks so good. Yeah, my lashes are pretty full and thick. They're just short. So I have to really layer the mascara. And since I'm not doing anything on the bottom, look at how clean that looks. I love that. Since I'm not doing anything on the bottom, I am gonna put a little mascara, kind of define those lashes down there. I got a little heavy on this side, but I'm I'm gonna take a clean mascara wand and I'm gonna comb through. Perfect. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's see what else I have in this little bag of goodies. I don't know why I felt like I needed to take all this home with me because a lot of it I already have, but I'm just a little makeup hoarder. Okay, this is a great blush. This is Barely Rose. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna put Balmy on. Where's Balmy? There you are. This cream blush is one of my favorites. It has actually kind of replaced the Westman Atelier that I loved. You know, I loved that Westman Atelier petal. I still do love that, but this one I like even more. This one has a little more pigment than that one. The shades are similar, but this one's just slightly a little more vibrant, but it's not too much, you know what I mean? Like, you really can have a lot of control. Oh, I just love this color. I'm gonna run a little bit on my nose too. So beautiful. So I wanna add a little bit of pink to the lips. This is the Beyond Matte Lip Stain in the shade Love Struck. I had this in the shade Muse, which is kind of similar, but Love Struck's a little bit more of a cool tone pink. Muse is a little more of like a kind of neutral peachy pink. And I'm not gonna use any lip liner. What I love about these is that you can use the tip of the applicator to create a lip line. They're very lightweight. They are a liquid lipstick, so it's gonna have a matte finish, but they're very comfortable. Ugh, love that. Love, love, love that. Love Struck. You want to give it some time to set, and it's a good amount of pigment. Like, it's opaque, but it's not really heavy. You can almost get a sheer application of this if you just do one little layer. Okay, once this sets, I think I am gonna apply a little bit of gloss. I'm gonna top it with Pat McGrath Labs Peach Perversion lip gloss. I love her lip gloss formulas. They are so nice. High shine, high gloss, not sticky or tacky. I like the applicator. There's a little bit of give to it. So it just feels nice when you apply it. Perfect. Ooh, love. So this is the finished look. I really love the way the makeup came out. Let's just hope that by the end of the day today, it still looks good and I can go out to dinner and I don't need to do too much touch-ups. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will list all the products that I used along with the shade names in the description box. I also want to mention I have a 20% promo code on Jane Iredale's website, and it's not indefinitely. I think it ends in a couple weeks. Don't quote me, but it's got an end date at some point in the near future. So I want to share that with you. I will put it in the description box below and link everything for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you guys in my next video. Bye.